Hello out there in video land. How are you today? It's a beautiful day out there. Let me just get my radio guys going here. Okay, we got the radio guys going. Let's see. Hit record. You must hit record or you must have quit. Hey, okay, we're ready to go. How's that? Everything look good? Microphones are on. Everything's working perfect on this perfect day. What a day out there today. Man, it feels like about 80 degrees. I think I can say good morning. I don't think we've hit noon yet. Usually I start at noon, but I thought I'm going to get on here a little bit early today. It's happy, joy because of the weather out there. Look at this. Unbelievable. October the what? 22nd today? Is that what it is? My watch doesn't have a thing of it. It is the 22nd today. Show number 405. Tuesday. Trash Talking Tuesday on Your City, Your Voice. Of course, my name is Paul K. Lemire, and I'm coming to you from the studios of 4680Q Radio. And that's cool. Hey, listen, I told you one day I'm going to show you that sign over there, but it won't be today. Anyway, here we are, and I'm watching just everybody go by outside. There's a lot of activity, and when you get a nice day like this, you've got a lot of activity outside. There's a lot of people walking around enjoying the weather. I ran into a couple with two other people walking down the street, and they said, "Hey, you're the radio guy." And they actually own a business up on Bridge Street, Houses Welding, and they go by. I guess every week they go over to Grand Central, and they're nice enough to say hello to me. So that's great. This weather brings out the best in people. It's way better than the miserable weather we get in usually in October, but now we're getting some really really good weather here. So that's fantastic. The more the merrier to me. I love it. I can't wait to have this last right till Christmas, but it's not going to. We know that, and that's why you've got to go see Wild Bill. Well, not Wild Bill. We got to see Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, because this is the time of year you got to get your car in. You got to be proactive, get it checked out before the winter comes and you break down. Now he's offering a free end of summer inspection. You can't beat this. Ken, if you bring your car to Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, will look at the brakes, look at the suspension, look at your tires, do a computer scan on your car to make sure there's no error codes that have to be taken care of, check your fluids, check your lighting, and take your vehicle for a little test drive up and down Oakwood Drive. That's where they are, by the Kia dealership. And just make sure there's no clunks and things going on that shouldn't be going on with your car. Because the worst thing that can happen is you break down in the middle of winter, and that's not much fun. Let's face it. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. If you have a fender bender or a major collision, you can take your car in to see Wild Bill's, and actually you can get your car fixed. It'll come out in showroom condition. Your car is going to be very happy. I'm going to be happy. Ken's going to be happy. Everybody's going to be happy when you get your car out of Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. And your car is going to be very, very happy. I'm telling you, happy car makes for a nice motoring winter with no breakdowns. Be proactive. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And support our sponsors. We ask you that. Now, I have two other sponsors, of course. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, the leader in outdoor decorative lighting, and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You can get a pizza today, but we're going to talk about them later. But I just can't get over this weather. It's so beautiful out here. Nice day to hang around and enjoy life before we know what's going to set in. And all I do is pray that we get this kind of weather for the kids. On October 31st for Halloween, we'd like to see a nice day like this for the kids so they can go out and enjoy themselves, not in some rainy, miserable, cold night. That's what usually happens. It'd be a lot nicer if it was just a little bit nicer of a day for them. That's what we hope this hangs on and gives us the kids a nice day. And what's that? We're only 9 days away from Halloween, although I won't look around, and there's a lot of people look like they're wearing costumes right now. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple things here. The first one I have to talk about is the gift that keeps on giving. I love when you get a Facebook story and you have all these Karens yelling and screaming about something, and they argue with you to the end of it, to the death. And this has been going on for a week now, and you've probably seen it, a video of two people on the other side of the wall down the park taking pictures of the falls and everything else, right? And this has gone viral. I mean, it's all over the place. Everybody's talking about it, and this has been going on for like a week now. And I'm just I just love it. It's a never ending source of fun for me. Um, I've been called a moron. I've been called a jerk. I've been called an idiot. What else have I been called? Oh, you name it. I've been called it. Somebody asked me if I was clueless this morning. Yeah, and this is on. There's a site that a lot of these people are on. It's like Niagara Action or something like that. I think it's from Niagara Falls, New York. Somebody runs it. And yeah, a moron, a jerk, an idiot, which may all be true. I mean, right? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm crazy, and everybody else is all right. And even accused of not living in Niagara Falls and being ignorant as to the danger those people were in because I don't live here. Okay, alrighty then. But yeah, that's true. That's what they said. I don't live here. And as a matter of fact, Niagara Action, which is the Facebook page that this was on, I think it's from the United States, they led with the headline, "Couple almost falls over edge of Niagara Falls while taking selfies." Oh man, you talk about fake news and crap, right? I mean, this is the kind of stuff that gets you clicks. It's called clickbait. Oh, somebody almost fell over taking fell selfies. They go there and they read it. And there's two guys walking around, a guy and a woman walking around, and they're in no danger of falling over. They're in no danger at all, as a matter of fact. They're perfectly fine. Um, Follow up story: they never did fall over, and they were never arrested, and or anything else. But they're taking pictures, not even close to falling over or in any danger whatsoever during the video. But people don't like it. The Karens of the world, right? They want to tell you what to do and what not to do, so they're gonna get mad. And then they really started going crazy. Now, most people were saying they should be arrested, and my answer was to them. My question was really not my answer. Was for what? What are you going to arrest them for? What law gives the police the right to arrest them? I want to know the law. Somebody please tell me the law. If there's a parks police out there, city police, or a lawyer, or Tony Caruso, you're a paralegal. What law says that you can't go over that wall and take pictures? I want to know the law. And there could be one, but I don't know of it. I don't know what it is. Can someone tell me? Yes, there are signs posted, but don't go over the wall, right, or whatever. Of course, I mean that's a warning, right? But what law says you're going to be arrested for sitting on that wall or going over it for a better view? I haven't found one. I can't think of one. Now, let's see. If you go over the falls in a barrel or a kayak or a jet ski or whatever else people have used over the years, you are going to be charged with stunting, assuming you live through it. And then you're going to appear in court and be given a $10,000 fine. But if you jump in the water to commit suicide and live, you don't get fined for stunning because you weren't stunning. You're trying to kill yourself. You'd be sent to the psychiatric ward at the hospital for evaluation for sure, and eventually released. No charges, no fine, no jail time. Nobody that has said arrest them has actually told me what the charge would be. What are they getting charged for? Some say charge them with trespassing. Well, the Parks Commission is public domain. It's owned by the taxpayers of Ontario. Can you be trespassed on public property you own? Or does somebody know if the parks is private property? I don't think it's private property. I think it's public property. They run under the government of Ontario, and they may be self-sufficient. In other words, they crook people for enough money to pay their bills, but that doesn't mean they're a private corporation or a private entity. And I don't think you can be trespassed on public property. And, if you think about it, the taxpayers of Ontario own that property, right? The government owns the property. The government is us. If anything, the people could charge the Parks Commission with negligence for not having proper safety measures in place to keep the people from going over the wall. I mean, really, if you think about it, the park should have appropriate fencing to deal with these apparent dangerous conditions that everyone's talking about. I mean, why don't the park put up a 10-foot fence right from Fort Erie to Niagara Lake if you want, or wherever you're at Fort Erie, yeah, right down the whole parkway so nobody can get in the water and cause trouble. You know why? Because the aesthetics would be horrendous for tourists. That's the number one thing. But don't they value tourist lives? It's so dangerous down there that over the last 100 years, we've had hundreds of millions of people come to Niagara Falls, hang around down there, view the falls, sit on the wall, take pictures on the wall. Um, I've only heard of one person ever falling over by accident, ever. And I've been here 72 years. Ever, one person, that Japanese lady who was sitting up there in a big gust of wind caught her umbrella or something and blew her over. That's it. Now, people have to separate the jumpers from the accidental fallers because, yeah, there's a lot of people who do jump. They want to commit suicide. They jump over. I mean, that's what the Golden Gate Bridge, a Burgoyne Bridge. It's a thing that people do, and the falls is no different. They want to jump in the falls, but accidentally fell over. I mean, I'd have to ask Pat Sirianni if he's ever heard of any other people. But I've only known of one person who accidentally fell over, and I said to one one person on that Facebook page, I mean, this would be huge news if somebody accidentally fell over. It would be on the front page of all the papers. I've never seen it other than that one Japanese girl. One in half a billion people that went through the falls over the last 100 years or more. That's why they don't have fences. It's not a major danger. I mean, people just have to quit being Karens. Those people were not in any danger out there. Now, would I wander out there? No, I'm not. I'm fine. I'm fine looking at the falls from the railing. But I don't worry about those who do wander out there. And if they fall over and need rescue, well, they should pay the price of the rescue if they live to talk about it. As far as dangerous, well, the facts just don't support the assertion that's dangerous down there. The park's not taking any steps other than a 3-foot wall you can climb on to take pictures and a few signs saying you shouldn't be doing that. And they're certainly not patrolling the area looking for offenders. So they don't take it that seriously. If the Tulip Patrol sees you on the wall, they'll ask you to get down, but they're not going to arrest you or give you a fine because I don't believe there's a law that allows them to do that or even to trespass you since the land is public domain. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, anybody out there, if I'm wrong about this, please correct me. But don't just give me a triggered Karen reaction and say that it's against the law. No, prove it to me. Tell me what law it's against, and I really want to know because when I look at it, I just don't see anything that says this is illegal. Or I mean, they could tell you to get off the wall, the parks. I mean, and you might be able to tell them forget about it. I'm not getting off the wall. Then we'll see if they can trespass you or whatever. But or claim it's private property, which it isn't. I mean, like I just don't. I mean, if you're wandering around the power station or something, doing something crazy, yeah, that's private property. But even that's owned by Ontario, I think, Sir Adam Beck, and that's not private corporation. But still, I mean, they have to worry about other things. But still, I just don't think there's a law. But anyway, I'll keep reporting on it as long as these people keep calling me names. If you want to see what's going on, go to that Niagara Action on Facebook and see all the comments. There's like 400 comments on it. And I've been involved in a lot of them because now would I suggest anybody go down there and hop the wall and go down? No, I wouldn't suggest that. You should be a little bit safer than that. And, you may want to just, but for those who are not worried about it and who like to take chances, hey, there you go. It's there. And then they're saying, oh, people will see it going viral and they're going to be going down there and everybody's going to be jumping that wall and that. I don't know about that. People have a lot of risk aversion. You can get killed a lot of ways. Driving down Lundy's Lane or McLeod Road might do it for you. But, a lot of people, they look at the signs and they understand the danger. They just don't go over. But for the few that do, hey, all the Tulip Patrol can do is tell you to get out of there and get you back over on the other side. That's what it is. They're not going to escort you out to the park and tell you can't go down the park anymore. like, yeah. So let's see what happens with that. But never source of entertainment, people. They they just I don't know. I think they just like to complain. There's people who like to complain and they like to complain about everything and seeing people on the wall. It's none of their business. Has nothing to do with them. They want to police that wall and they should go down there, police it. And every time you see somebody on the wall, call the Tulip Patrol. By the time they get there, they'll be down. And you'll be having a good time all day and tattling and ratting on people, but you're not going to get much action, I don't think. You think you're going to save society by being down there complaining about them. I don't think you're gonna achieve your goal and get the satisfaction you want from ratting on people. But check out that video if you haven't seen it. It's a lot of fun. So, and if you don't agree with me, leave a comment on the video. Let's see what you have to say. I want to hear from people who know the law and can tell me whether that's an arrestable offense. That's what I want to hear from. I'm gonna have to ask Tony Crusoe. Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows. Or somebody who works for the Parks Commission, as far as on the Tulip Patrol, or a city police officer. See what they have to say. So, has anybody been following this goofball Justin Castro and his latest scandal? Boy, he's in a little more trouble now. This guy always has scandals, and he just found another one to force him to step down, which he's so arrogant. We know he won't. Apparently, he established a green fund, which has given away tens of millions of dollars to friends who wanted to start green companies. Yep. But the thing is, they didn't have to even start the company. All they had to do is just basically hand in an outline of what they wanted to do. And he would give them 10, 20 million, whatever. They're buddies of his, of course. These are plums, right? And it added up to $100 million, $200 million. That's the problem here. And yeah, they didn't have to do anything with the money. Some of them never did a thing. This is pretty huge. And could collapse his government because of it. They're already yelling and screaming. And in the meantime, so as not to get ousted, he's looking at to prorogue government, right? To get him off the hook, like he did in 2020 after the We charity scandal. He had another one that he prorogued on. That's good and bad. In this case, it may be good because of all the wacky bills that these liberals were going to put forward and pass. They're going to die on the vine because he's going to prorogue the government, which is nice. But the NDP might not be so happy. They had some stuff in there that they wanted to do for people like dental and healthcare and stuff, which will be also put on the shelf until they start up again. If he prorogues it and they say that he's going to do it the next week. No, what we really need, though, is an election to get rid of him once and for all. I mean, Pierre Poilievre can act now with the NDP thinking they'll be the opposition as the Liberals free fall. I mean, this may be a good time for him to reintroduce a non-confidence motion. And we could have an election sooner than anyone anticipates. Many Liberals are saying he should step down as leader. They've had it with him. He's done. But, he's arrogant. He'll never allow himself to do that. He won't do it. He really thinks everybody loves him, this guy. He does. He thinks everybody loves him. Well, they're having these big problems. He's over in Malaysia somewhere flying around on the corporate jet, blowing out carbon. He's the one that's worried about carbon taxes and the air and everything else. And he's driving around in this big jet in Malaysia and all over the place now. Not even around here. This guy is truly a whack job. Apparently, Mark Carney is waiting in the wings to take over and defeat PP. I call him Pierre Poilievre. But a lot has to happen before that happens. He's got to get elected to run the party first. Confusing, yes, but as long as it gets rid of Trudeau once and for all, it's all good. So just stay tuned to this one. Another scandal. Lad Lavalin, SC Lavalin, and then there was the We Charity one and the blackface. I mean, this guy's had scandal after scandal after scandal, but somehow he survives. And I think it has to do with the left wing media and these voting machines or something. Something's phony here. I mean, who votes for this guy? I don't know anybody who voted for him. I've asked that, you vote for Trudeau? No, I never voted Liberal. No, I would never vote for that idiot. No, 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 no. But yet he gets elected all the time. Somebody's voting for him. It ain't me. I'll tell you that right now. Not a chance. Everybody knows that. If you know me, you know I would never give him a vote. Just like I would never, if I was American, give Kamala a vote neither. But it's there and it's happening, and we'll see what happens. We'll find out maybe in the next week if he's going to prorogue government, shut it down, and wait till they call it back in session and get rid of all the dopey bills that he's passed. Stay tuned. And I'm going to get to my second sponsor, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. You know, we're at that time of year where we have the Winter Festival of Lights starting up in November, and we have Halloween, we have Christmas. Everybody likes to decorate their house and participate in our beautiful Winter Festival of Lights in Niagara Falls, the biggest and most recognized one in Canada. So what do you have to do? Well, you got to get your lights out. You got to make sure they're all working before you put them up in the house. Then you got to climb the ladder and string them all along your house, plug them all in, cords here, cords there, extension cords, this, that. And usually it's in rotten weather. Today'd be a good day to put up your Christmas lights. A little premature, but it's better than doing it in the cold, I'll tell you that. But people do other things in the nice weather. So how do you solve the problem? You call Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. What they're going to do is come in and put permanent outdoor track lighting on your house. That's right. All LED lights, so they're very, very inexpensive on your power bill. You don't have to worry about that. It's not going to run up your bill. They have a lifetime warranty. They're made in zones, so you can control different zones. You want red and green for Christmas? Red, green, right down your house, all from your phone. If you want orange for Halloween, you just turn your house orange. If you want green for St. Patrick's Day, you turn it green. No fooling around, no fuss, no muss, no bother. You pick up the phone, you call Colin Buckborough at 289-969-1797. He's the owner. He's going to come over, give you a free quote, give you some great advice, and string those lights up for you so you never have to do it again. It also ups the value on your house, makes it safer. Your pathways are all lit up beautifully at night. It's just a great, great product. And like I say, you call Colin Buckborough, 289-969-1797. And I would suggest that you call now, because this is when he's starting to get busy. Everybody wants to get these lights instead of having to go up that ladder, and they're starting to call him now. He's getting busy. Get him down there, free quote. And if it's a little bit too heavy for your pocketbook, pay him what you want, and you can finance the rest and pay it off anytime you want. That's right. They have approved financing. So you can get finance for it. You don't have to spend all at once. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Give them a call, 289-969-1797. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And we thank you for supporting our sponsors. Okay, so what do we got going on in the Middle East? There's always something going on. You know, there's never a day when there's nothing going on in this world with, ever since the Biden-Harris administration came in, there's always something going on. And it's usually around the world with wars and conflicts and everything else. Before all that was going on was that they were indicting and impeaching Trump. That's what you followed. Now it's all over the world. So BiBi Netanyahu, attack on his residence by Hezbollah. They sent a drone in and blew up his house. Things are really heating up in the Middle East as terrorists hit his house. And he wasn't there. It was a drone attack. So no injuries to him or anything, but his house got a little bit wrecked. And of course, this was in retaliation for the death of top Hamas and Hezbollah leaders over the past few weeks. The IDF is picking them off one at a time and really has decimated the leadership of these terrorist Iranian proxy groups. Now, Israel's going to retaliate for these hundreds of bombs sent from Iran, but it will be on their own schedule and time of their choosing. Many expect it will be before the U.S. election, which makes sense. But unfortunately, with the Biden administration, this is why they don't get told anything on world affairs. because they have a leak. They have leaks there. Too many leaks. The blabbermouth Biden administration has leaked information about the planned attack, which many believe was supposed to be done on October 17th, but they've delayed it because of this alleged leak out of the White House. And I mean, like we know that Harris supports Palestine and thus Hamas. She's in with Tlaib and Iman, who hate America, and Tlaib's a Palestinian. They aid and abet these protesters against Israel with Harris saying that Palestinians are correct in protesting, which includes burning American flags, of course. Um, I don't know why Biden and Harris are not in the Middle East right now brokering a ceasefire. That's the question of the day. They've had over a year now, and they haven't done anything. But you wonder why they won't tell these guys anything. I mean, their government and their people in Congress and that are backing the Palestinians. Yeah, they support them. I wouldn't tell them anything either, right? They shouldn't tell them anything. They shouldn't let them know anything. But some leak got it too. Got out. So as we sit and wait for World War III to break out, Israel's bombing the hell out of Beirut to clean out terrorist leaders. The U.S. has a B-2 Spirit patrolling the area and blowing the hell out of the Houthis in Yemen. And anywhere else that is needed in the area, that B-2 is just floating around, doing whatever it's got to do, wherever it gets called to. And Iran is sit and wait for an Israeli retaliation for getting bombed a few weeks ago. So it's heating up over there. It's not getting cooler. Cooler heads are not prevailing over in the Middle East. A lot of bombs going off every day. You can watch them. I watched it yesterday, and there's a few that blew up in Beirut. And they hit what did they hit yesterday? I think a financial center that they were using as a hideout for some of these leaders. And that's not even mentioning the disaster that is in Russia and Ukraine. That's not even mentioning that at all. The Ukraine is getting its ass kicked badly and is slowly losing the interest of NATO and the allies. And so there we go. And if they don't get supported by NATO and the U.S., I mean, the jig is up over there. The war's over. Putin's now turning his head to the Middle East, where the Israelis have bombed Russian assets in Syria. And we know he's in cahoots with Iran for weapons. So he's got a vested interest in that fight with Israel now as well. So this isn't good. We're starting to see everything line up on sides. The one side is the Israelis in the United States and NATO countries probably. Who knows if they're on their side neither. They're crying about Israel defending itself. And then you've got Iran, Russia, China, North Korea. They're all in the axis of evil over there. It's a big mess. And if we can go to November 6th, well, November 5th anyway, without a war being triggered, then Trump gets elected. This could all get straightened out quick. But if it goes the other way, it's going to be a bigger mess than ever. So get out and vote, all my American friends and family. Go out there and vote. Yeah. And speaking of the election, what a great thing. Trump, the video of him slinging fries at McDonald's was just amazing. Whether you like Trump or not, you have to admit two things. He loves McDonald's, and his half hour working at McDonald's was genius. Genius campaigning, especially after Skamala claimed she worked there when she was young, and it was proven to be a lie. She never ever worked there. So Trump takes this and he goes to a McDonald's in, I think, Feasterville, Pennsylvania. Went in there, took off his suit jacket, put on an apron, a McDonald's apron, and was slinging fries, cooking fries, and to the surprise of many, in the drive-thru, he was working the drive-thru. Yeah, so there he is, cooking fries, throwing them in the bin, salting them, shaking them up, putting them in the little cups, and then he was at the drive-thru handing out food, and people were beside themselves. with the president of the United States sitting there. And the crowds that were lining the streets where the Mickey D's is located was crazy. I mean, there were tens of thousands of people lining the streets up and down the streets with Trump. They're there like 10 deep. And they had signs about Trump and everything. It was fantastic. And it shows you the popularity of this. And I'm saying he's going to landslide Kamala. It's going to be a landslide. I don't know what people are thinking when they look at the numbers and where these polls are coming from, but I mean, it's unbelievable the support he has, and even the Democrats are flying over. And you know, I said this before. A lot of people won't admit they're going to vote for Trump because of all the static they're going to take from the wacky Karens on the left, right? So they might not admit it, but when they get in that ballot booth and they cast their vote, they know that Trump is the guy to do the job, and Kamala will not be able to do it. She's incompetent, and she's just not able to do the job. That's all there is to it. You can see it in any of her interviews. That she doesn't have the ability. People are calling her stupid. I don't think she's stupid. I think she just don't have the ability to lead, and we've seen that over and over. And that's what we need. And you know, when I say we, I'm talking about Canada. Because we need a tough leader in the States. We need a leader that's going to stop all these wars. We need a leader to make the economy better. Because our leader sure isn't. But 9 times out of 10, what happens in the States trickles down to Canada, helps Canada, and that's what we want. That's what we want. We want a good economy in that. So I say we because we are affected in Canada by it, and that's why I keep talking about it. Of course, the left-wing loonies are crying foul. That the whole thing was set up. No kidding. You think a guy who's been shot once, almost assassinated again, has another third guy looking to kill him, has these gangs of Iranian illegal immigrants with Stinger missiles looking to shoot down his plane, and other groups. You think he's just gonna walk into McDonald's, put on an apron, and start working? Of course not. Secret Service went in there, told them what they're going to do, set it all up. He went in, he worked for 15 minutes, half hour. And, and yeah, it was, of course it was staged. And anybody who was driving through that drive-thru, you think they're just going to let a car pull up with people in it and go through that drive-thru without checking out who the hell they are, or maybe even pre-checking them and giving them clearance before they even got in the drive-thru? And Trump paid for it all anyway. But yeah, of course it's staged. It has to be at this point. You know, 2 assassination attempts on the guy. You think he's just going to wander in there out of the blue? No, it's staged. It has to be staged. That's the way it is. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure that out. But the left is making it like, oh, this was a campaign. It was all staged. Of course it was staged. But they didn't stage the people on the side of the road waiting for him and cheering for him and everything. That wasn't staged. There was nobody bringing in busloads of people like Kamala's campaign. So, I mean, yeah, no kidding. No, you know what, Sherlock? Yeah, it was staged. It had to be. It had to be. The guy's been they tried to kill him twice. But there was one photo that was the best. And this photo was of Trump leaning out of the McDonald's drive-thru waving at the crowd. And that right there is worthy of a Norman Rockwell painting. Americana at its finest. Trump and McDonald's, 2 iconic American success stories. It doesn't get much better than that. In Trump's own words, now I have worked 15 minutes longer at McDonald's than Kamala. A classic line from a classic president in a classic pose. I mean, let's face it, over this campaign, who stood out? It's Trump. I mean, being shot, that photo of him with his arm raised, fist raised, fight, fight, fight. Number one. And then now this Norman Rockwell setting of Americana. I mean, these are the 2 moments that are going to be remembered from this election. I don't remember any moment from Kamala. Nothing. Everything's Trump. Everything's Trump. And you know what? At the end of the day, only Trump could pull this off. And you'll never see anything like this again. I mean, there's only so many people. Remember back in the election where Michael Dukakis was running and he got in that tank and was going down the street with the helmet on there? And That ruined him. That ruined his whole career. They just it didn't help him any. It hurt him actually. Michael Dukakis, and now he's a byline in history. Once in a lifetime, Donald Trump out that window, waving at the crowd. American Norman Rockwell Americana. It doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that, and you witnessed it. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's fantastic. Now, on the other side of the coin, the Democrats are desperate, and don't be surprised if they take another shot at Trump. There's just too many threats out there at the moment from these left wing loonies, and they're being egged on by Democratic candidates, including Kamala. I mean, she keeps saying he can't. We have to stop him from being president. Should never be allowed to sit in that Oval Office again. We have to eliminate him. We have to get him out of there. I mean, this is the stuff that after the first shooting, Joe Biden said they have to stop, but they haven't stopped. They haven't stopped. They haven't stopped at all. And illegal immigrants are still coming into the country. They're wandering around America, waiting to wreak havoc. And the entities are known to authorities. The problem is tracking them down. The Secret Service and other law enforcement agencies have to be right 100% of the time. And the bad guys, well, they only have to be right once to cause big problems. Oh, there's the Russian spy girl. I haven't seen her in a few days. There she goes. Very, very interesting. So, who knows? They say there's going to be an event before the election on November 5th. They call it October Surprise. Be aware, be vigilant, be safe out there. Expect the unexpected. I think we're going to see something. I don't know what it's going to be. Who knows? Who knows? But the Democrats are desperate. They're losing bad. It's going to be a landslide. And unfortunately, they're looking right now and going, geez, Kamala's just digging the hole deeper and deeper with goofy attacks on Trump and little to nothing to substantiate any interview she does. She's losing on many fronts, including black male voters. Both Obamas are on the campaign trail for her now. Big Mike and Barack. They're trying to resuscitate a dying campaign to no avail because between Harris and Waltz, they have screwed things up royally for the Democrats right now. And I guarantee many Democrats are saying, geez, maybe we should have left Biden in the race. At least he had people backing him, 14 million votes. And even though he did poorly in a debate, he didn't do any worse than Kamala's doing right now. But the Obamas are out there, and they're really, they make me, they make me mad. These people, they're pulling the race card as well as the first woman president card to no avail. I mean, Obama was not really a big friend of blacks and did nothing for them during his 8 years, and they'll tell you that. Blacks are in the know. Well, they'll tell you that it was worse for them. Took them back to the 60s when race relations were at an all-time low. Let's face it, Kamala's done. The Democrats are in panic mode. Americans are just waiting for an October surprise, the ones that support the Democrats, to see if they can get them out of there. But 2 weeks, November 5th, 2 weeks today is the election. The final boot's going to be delivered to her. And like Trump says, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. And that's that. That's the way it's going to go down. Now let's get to my third sponsor here. And that would be Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. You always have that urge for a pizza. I mean, I always do. I love pizza. It's my favorite food. I should get that shirt, with a pizza thing. But I got a call from Mike at Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. He asked me if he could be a sponsor of the show. And I told him, Mike, I've got to try your pizza. If I don't like it, no. Because I can't sit here and talk about it if I don't like it, right? Went down, grabbed a pizza without him knowing, of course. I never go into the pizzerias myself. I send Liz in, so they don't know who anybody is. And it was good. I liked it. I really liked it. Give it a high 7s. It was very good. And the reason is that Mike worked in an Italian restaurant for 15 years, so he gets it. And also they use old Mancini family recipes brought to Pete's Pizza when They opened it 40 years ago. It's been 40 years since they've been around the Niagara region as a mini franchise. And the sauce is good. The cheese is fantastic. Mike uses Saputo mozzarella with brick cheese mixed in to give it that nice taste and stretch. He knows how to mix the cheese and the sauce on the pizza in the perfect proportions, a great ratio. Just a really good pizza, quality ingredients. And also, he cooks it right. Cooks it on cornmeal. Cooks it perfect. The cook is beautiful. I like it a little bit well done. So I always ask for it to be well done. And it works out perfect. Now, when you go there, you see a huge menu with poutine, subs, fries, all kinds of things on the menu. I mean, you don't have to have pizza. And for your convenience, Mike has decided to open the doors later. So on Sunday to Thursday, you can go in there be till midnight. And very few pizza places are open that late. And Friday and Saturday open till 2 in the morning. So if you go out and get a glow on and you're a little bit hungry before you watch Fright Night or whatever's on at midnights anymore, I don't know. It used to be Fright Night. Yeah, you can have a pizza. Sit down and have a little munch. So Pete's Pizza, Victoria Avenue, great place to go. 905-374-2222 is the number you call to order. Or you can go Pete's Pizza Victoria. Oh, I got to get that right. You know, I never get this right. One day I'm gonna remember that. Pete's Pizza Victoria. I always think I got it wrong, and it's not. Pete'sPizzaVictoria.ca. You can order online. Go and get your pizza today. Mike's got one waiting for you, and a good one too. Support our sponsors. We really appreciate it. Oh, and I forgot to mention their special. Wait till the end of the year. Their 40th anniversary special. 2 medium pies for $25 with 3 toppings on each pie. How can you beat that? Buy one, eat it, freeze the other one. You got it there when you need it. Everything's honky donkey dory. Okay. Now, what about Cuba? I'm sure everybody's heard about Cuba. If anybody's been to Cuba, you know that it's wonky at best, Cuba, right? When people say, I went there and they ran out of mint, it's Cuba. I went there and they did this, it's Cuba. And, you got to expect that it's a communist country. They don't have a lot of people. And now they got less because the power went out. And it's almost right out of a Black Ops novel, man. Basically, the whole of Cuba was in the dark as their main power plant for the island broke down. And it shut down the nation's energy grid, 10 million people without power. And they're trying to get back up and running. I saw that they got some of Havana up and running because there's 2 million people there. And they wanted to work on that first. So I would imagine some parts is still out, but they seem to have got some of it going, maybe all of it by now. But all the equipment and, the power plant, that's old Russian junk, being held together with duct tape and baling wire, just like their vintage cars you see down there. But things, oh, look at that, 57 Chevy. Yeah, 57 Chevy, held together with duct tape and baling wire and with a Hyundai diesel engine in it, right? That's what they have because there's no gas. No gas. They got diesel, no gas. So, there's been an embargo on them since Castro took over by the United States. And because they decided Russia would make a better ally than the U.S., there's not a lot that they can get. And when Venezuela went out of business, that was the end of a lot of the oil in that they can get too. So they've been kind of really taking it hard. COVID wiped out their tourist industry, which is where they get most of their money from. And if you ever read a book on Castro and you saw what the CIA was doing to them back in the early 1900s and how they decimated any kind of industry they had for sugarcane and then put in them a huge tariff on sugarcane and broke them. Yeah, you wonder why they don't like Americans too much, and yeah, not at all, actually. But I hope they get it all back. Those people are very nice people. If you've ever been to Cuba, they're beautiful, beautiful, wonderful people. I love them all. Have some friends down there I've made from going down there several times, and I always keep in touch with them to see how they're doing and that kind of thing. And other services are being impacted, of course. Your water supply depends on pumps to pump the water, and your gasoline depends on electricity to use the pumps, and then trying to even get gasoline. It's a big deal down there. Cooking has to be done on wood stoves on the streets because they're refrigerators and freezers. Anything they have in there would go bad. So The resorts, as far as I know, they were okay for now. A lot of them run on their own generators. I mean, when I was down there a few years ago before COVID, was the last time I was there. But yeah, one night all the power went out for a couple hours, and just the generators, aren't working. They go down. They got to be fixed. Hard to get parts, but they're going to be hard pressed to fill their supplies again. And it really, unfortunately, isn't out of the ordinary for Cubans. There's frequent outages for hours at a time there. So hopefully the authorities are saying that the outages are stemming from increased demand from small and medium-sized companies and residents' air conditioners. Yeah, a lot of people have air conditioners they plug in, and when they plug them in, it screws them up. And they figure there's been 100,000 air conditioners that have come in since the last year. And really, what's funny is that you see a lot of Cubans that when they come here, and a lot of people who are living here from Cuba actually do take air conditioners and appliances home just simply because you can't get them. You can't get them. Can't get them there, so they bring them for their families and that. But it always comes down to parts. Can't get parts to fix anything, right? So that's another big problem. Yeah, when at the end of the day. Now, why doesn't Cuba do this? Here's my suggestion for Cuba. I'm going to make a suggestion to all you Cubans out there. Amalgamate with Canada. It's a perfect union. Why wouldn't they do this? Cubans love Canadians, and well, except for the Canadians from Quebec, and Canadians love Cubans. Why not just become part of Canada? We need tropical destinations for our Canadians. Since our furthest point south is Windsor, we need some nice tropical destinations with nice weather and beautiful beaches. And Cubans need the goods and services available in Canada. A natural fit. It's a match made in heaven. Now, the son of Fidel Castro runs Canada, ensuring that Cuba will remain a communist state, but with some resources to make it better and make life better for the people under the current communist regime. Canada has 3 territories now. They would be our 4th territory. Now, what's the matter with that? Wouldn't Canadians love this? Come on, somebody get on the blower to whoever's running that country now, the president. I don't know who it is. And then talk to them about making this amalgamation, this beautiful thing that I'm talking about. Maybe PP, when they're elected, he can go to Cuba and make the deal. They need help. We have it. Our 4th territory. Let's do it. I vote yes. Let's have a referendum. I vote yes. Let's go and take over Cuba. Okay, and of course people are going to say I'm crazy and blah blah blah, but why not? Why not? I remember back in the 60s and 70s, it was Turks and Caicos Canada wanted to take over and have that as the 4th territory or our 11th province or whatever they want to say. Is there 10 provinces? I think so. So anyway, why not do that? I like it. Call me crazy, but I like it. Be good for Canada too. Let's face it. Going to a tropical destination, spending Canadian money, not having to change to American on an island that's going to have all kinds of really nice stuff once the Canadians get in there. Yeah. Okay, so looking for a Halloween costume for October 31st. Well, Amazon released its best-selling Halloween costumes. And the number 1 spot from Amazon is a wizard tunic hooded robe. Why? Because it's easy. Put a robe on, throw the hood up, get a wand or something, and away you go. You're a wizard. But, really, wizards and witches have always been number 1 with me. I mean, everybody dressed up as witches when they're young, right? But there's always a couple witches wandering around. Other than that, these are popular. Unisex full hooded cloak, tutu skirt. And a lot of people wear the tutu skirt and dance around, Inflatable T-Rex costume. Ooh. Stitch children's costume. Whatever Stitch is, I don't know. I have no clue what that is. Unless somebody can tell me. Maybe somebody can tell me. I don't know. I have no clue what it is. Stitch. Fairy wings and a wand. Great for my buddy Wheels. Fairy wings and a wand would be good for Wheels. And angel wings with a halo. And that would be good for me. Nice halo. Yeah, angel wings. A nice halo. Be awesome. And flight pilot adult costume a la Top Gun. That's another one that's popular. And Mario, the Mario Brothers, and his other brother, Luigi, the popular costumes. I don't know. When we were kids, we made our own costumes. I guess because there wasn't a lot of costumes to choose from off the shelf when we were kids. A lot of times we would get cork, burn the end of it, use it to make dirt on our face, and dress up as bums. Yeah, we dress up old coat, old pants, old shoes, the stick with the bag on it, the bag on it, yeah, and walk around like that for Halloween. That was our costume, a bum. And other stuff we made for ourselves. I mean, we did our own costumes, a mummy, get some gauze and wrap it around your head, or get a cheap, buck mask, dollar mask. And I got one that looked like Richard Nixon. I had a lot of fun with back in the day. But yeah, that kind of stuff. We didn't go and spend $30 on a costume or anything crazy like that. I didn't have the money, I guess. But yeah, we never had these Iron Man and Batman and Spider Man costumes. We never got anything like that. No, we never got that. We made our own. Usually, we made our own. And of course, these pop culture ones. Well, I don't even know what they are. So a lot of kids come to the door and they're dressed up, and I go, "Okay, what are you supposed to be?" I'm something, whatever they ask, a pop culture icon. And but I give them credit for making it their own as opposed to buying it. I mean, yeah, so pretty cool. The good old days. We weren't offended by anything though, and everything. I mean, you could actually wander the streets all night without your parents in tow. It was safe then. It was safe. We could wander around, make our own costumes, have a laugh, and be bums for the night. Now, don't forget that tonight is City Council night, right? City Council night tonight, and we got a lot of stuff on the agenda. So the show starts at 4 o'clock. So items to watch for are item 8.2 on the agenda. If you go to NiagaraFalls.ca, student council, city council agenda, and you click on the agenda will come up, and you can look at it and you can follow it at 4 o'clock with the meeting. But item 8.2 is to do with the Chippewa Arena. Hats off to the people in Chippewa. We're going to see what City Council's going to do for you. Because apparently the old arena is in need of major renovation or a complete tear down and build a new one. Now, the good thing is they don't have to tear it down. They can refurbish it a bit without the ice and all that, of course. And they can put events in it. They can put businesses in it. They can do a lot of things with it. Make a track in there, indoor track. They can do a lot of things with it. And they would build the new arena right next door on the property, so they wouldn't have to close it down, and they would just transfer everything over to the new one when it's built. Now is a great time to do it because they're able to get $10 million to $11 million from the other governments, which, I mean, it's our money anyway, but it's not costing the city as much as it would if they just went out and bought a new one. They figure it's going to be around $40 million. They're getting about $11 million, so $28 million to build a brand new one that's accessible, has all the latest modern equipment in it. They want to put the library in there as well, so it's a place to go for a library. So it's going to be a really nice complex, and use the other one for different events. So that's a possibility. Let's see what the council decides. I'm always torn on spending money, but it comes down to this for me. Would I rather see $12 million on a walking trail? That's what they're spending on this new walking trail. When we have 32 miles of the Niagara Parkway we can walk. When we have the Millennium Trail they built that we can walk. When they have the Bruce Trail that's been there for centuries that we can walk. And other places to walk in the city. Do we really need to spend $12 million, or would you rather put it towards a new arena for the city in a part of the city that's growing fast? I mean, it is growing fast. They put the hospital out there. They're going to put the new sewage treatment plant out there. They're building fast out that way. That's the way the city's moving, to the south and to the west. So it makes sense now when we got some money coming in from other sources that we may want to spend the money on it. I don't know. I hate to spend money, you know that, but a legacy project like this, I mean, I'd rather have taken the 17 million for the exchange and 12 million for the walking trail. There's 29 million right there, 30 million, and paid for the new arena. To be honest with you, I think more kids in minor hockey and that would use that facility as far as being able to rent it out as well and generate revenue from it um, is better than that Millennium Trail that's generating nothing, or the exchange, which I don't know. I think that's could turn out to be a white elephant. So you got to think about this, right? And I'm going to be interesting to see what the city council comes down with on this one. It's a big decision. 8.2, watch for it tonight. 8.3, Santa Claus Parade and downtown lighting. Now, we know the city doesn't like to spend money, and it'll be interesting because they have to spend $15,000 to light up downtown and have a Santa Claus Parade. Now, this one I would rubber stamp. I mean, come on. Last year, in the city that's known for the Winter Festival of Lights, they had no lights on Queen Street. They had a broken down moose at City Hall, and of course, we did have a Santa Claus parade. So, I mean, we got to do this again. This is good for the city. We got to have our downtown lit up for the businesses and for people to come down and enjoy it. So they'll probably get that, but watch for what they say about that one. 12.1, $18,000 request from funding for funding from Shepherd's Heart Food Bank. My thing is they got to take care of themselves. We cannot be supporting every one of these. We support, Project Share and a lot of other ones already. This is kind of like an independent one. Yes, they do good work, but I think they should have to sustain themselves. That's just my take on it. We'll see what City Council says. Road maintenance plan from Jim Diodati. A few years late to the party here, Jimmy, but better late than never. And I think they do need a road maintenance plan. My thought is dedicate $100 million over the next 5 years to maintenance of roads. 20 million a year just to fix roads. Where are we going to get the money? From the casino funds, no problem. Earmark them, and let's get these roads fixed. The Jawbreaker is a killer. The Jawbreaker, that stretch of road between Chatters and Throatstone Road, is just unbelievable. And I was down another road, Frederica Street, I think, and that thing is a big mess too. So lots of roads we need maintenance on. Let's earmark money for it and get her done. And then another one, see what they say about that. That's an interesting one. At 14.1, heads and beds. It's a real interesting one. You got to find out more about that. I researched it a little bit, and it's interesting what the city gets from this and St. Catharines gets from it. So I'd like to see them really, really dig into this. And my suggestion is, what about the refugees? There's 5,000 of them here. They should be included in heads and beds. They're long-term stays here, and we're not making any money off it. In the hotels, they don't get the $2 fee. So, I mean, city's not getting anything. And it's the same kind of thing where they're using our services, they're using our schools, they're using our hospitals and all that. And the city gets nothing back for them using everything. So I think that should be looked at too, as well. Now, as we roll along here, we're going to get to a Remembrance Day show on November 11th. And of course, before Halloween, and you can put something in comments about this if you guys like. Throw some comments. What do you think our city councilors should dress up as for Halloween? I've got some great ideas for all of them. And I'm going to say them on the show. We're going to do a show about what we think that they should dress up as. So if you have anything that you think they should dress up as, leave them in the comments on the video. Message me on Facebook, and and we'll see what we can come up with for them all. Let's come up with some great costumes for our city councilors that would suit them, and I wouldn't doubt if we get some real comical replies here. I've got some good ones already, but I want to see what the people say out there. Let's see what you think. Give me your comments. Let's give them costume suggestions for our city council. I'll announce them maybe 2 or 3 days before Halloween. I'm not sure what day it's on, but it's not a Monday this year. Maybe we'll do it on the Friday show before Halloween. But anyway, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see the suggestions for everybody. Yeah, I think it's today's the 23rd? 22nd. So 29th would be so it's on a Thursday, I guess, right? 22nd today, 7 days is the 29th, which is next Tuesday, Wednesday. So it'll be on a Thursday. So we'll probably do the show on the Monday before Halloween, and give our suggestions for for Halloween costumes that would suit our city council members. And I can't even take any suggestions because the penguin is the penguin, and that's going to be the suggestion for Jason Burgess, our CAO. But the rest of council, give me what you think. Anyway, I'm done for the day. I'm out of here. Listening to City Council tonight, see what they have to talk about. Check our YouTube video later on. Subscribe, hit the notification button, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, and I'll be taking suggestions for our City Council before Halloween. And that's that. And we as we finish another Trash Talking Tuesday on Your City, Your Voice. 4680Q Radio, Paul K. Lemire. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Support our sponsors. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for tuning in on 4680Q.com radio. We will see you tomorrow with Absolutely All Habs All Show, and back on Thursday with Straight Talk Thursday, and who knows if we'll have a guest or not. Until then, ciao, ciao, everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful weather, and we will see you. Have fans tomorrow and our Your City, Your Voice crew on Thursday. Take care. Have a great day.